Welcome to A Double
and
Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage,
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll. Welcome to episode 97 of A Double and Dice, and today is a very special episode. And you're saying, why is episode 97 a very special episode? And why is Jocelyn introducing the episode instead of Kim? And that is because it is Kim's birthday. So everybody all at once with me, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kim. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Thank you. And I didn't see that coming.
That was the plan. That was
I
the
was
whole goal.
about to say, welcome to when you started talking.
Well, I told you I was going to open the episode today because it's your birthday.
That went in and out my ear. I didn't hear that part.
Well, it's a good thing that I was on the ball and I hit it right on time.
Yeah,
So,
you did. Before I even said anything.
Happy birthday, Kim.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be a year older than you were yesterday?
Ugh, I hate getting older.
I
I'll
mean,
be
it
honest,
is-
I wish I was in my 30s. That shouldn't give away my age at all.
No, not at all, Kim. Not at all. But there's lots of us here that are in the dirt in the 40s. So welcome to the club. I've been here for a couple of years, almost 3, not counting, and it's not so bad, right? You have more disposable income generally, which means you can spend more money on games like Dice Masters if we had
If
product to buy.
there was product for Dice Masters, which we still haven't heard about the
House of X.
House of X.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get some news. But in the meantime, I think there are still things to talk about for Dice Masters, and there's always combos and ideas that we haven't come up with. So I think that's one of the things that you and I maybe should focus on. Maybe we should do some card spotlights out of Secret Wars, cards that we haven't seen people playing. Can we make them good? Maybe even dig out golden cards.
Oh, golden cards.
And by golden cards, I mean maybe I would dig out golden cards.
What's
So
wrong with
that
me
we
digging
can-
out golden cards?
Well, because I don't ever play golden, Kim. That's
Oh,
why.
yeah.
Right?
I only play golden if it's like themed or something. But like in WDA or tournaments or whatever. But
Yeah, but you still do it. Whereas I'm like golden. Psh,
you don't like
okay,
golden.
It's like the sign of the cross. It's like there's a witch over there. And I'm like, it's too much stuff. And there is too much stuff. But maybe that's what we'll have to do. Because I feel like there's only so much space in my brain, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start going into golden cards, I forget about certain combos and I forget about certain cards. There's certain cards I remember, like we talked last episode about Huntress and how much I loved that Huntress card. So there's little individual cards that I remember, but then there's other ones that I've like completely forgotten about. And that's like some of the feedback that we got on our episode from last week. So I think we're going to do this episode kind of like way out of order. So what do you think?
All right. If you don't remember last week, and you can go listen to it before listening to this episode, we talked about the Birds of Prey ladies.
Previously on a double and dice. We did. We talked about the Birds of Prey ladies, which was Huntress.
Yep.
And Black Canary.
Yes.
We didn't talk about Oracle / Barbara Gordon / Batgirl because we'd done a previous episode on that character.
Yep.
So we just talked about those two folks. And we heard from 2 different, unique listeners about the same combo.
Yep.
And that combo...
Which I forgot about this combo.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to exactly what I was just saying about golden cards. And some of these cards aren't super golden. So like Black Canary, this is Flower Shop, right? Flower Shop owner. So she's only from Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol just rotated last year, right? So it's not even that old of a card. And we talked about her in the episode, which is when Black Canary attacks, villain character dice cannot block until end of turn. And we talked about, if you're playing an anti-villain team or if there's villains in the meta, it's a good one to play. But did any of us, by any of us, I mean either of us, remember that there's a card that makes all the opposing characters villains? Because I didn't.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
Yeah. And that's Danger Room, flamethrowers, and
Rotating
something
knives.
rotating knives,
Rotating knives.
which is a super cool card subtitle, flamethrowers and rotating knives.
I feel like that should be
Also,
like a movie title.
or like a band name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going out on Friday night to see flamethrowers and rotating
Rotating
knives.
knives. She can't even
Like
say it.
it's like a metal band, like a heavy metal band or something, or like screamo, right? Lots of anger. I can hear it. There's lots of beat, a lot of anger. Anyway, so that card says it's a 2-cost action card with a bolt energy that says all character dice lose their affiliations and gain villain until end of turn. And then there's a global pay a bolt, deal 1 damage to target villain character die. And that is a great combination with Black Canary, because if you make all your opponent characters villains, then none of them can block. And then Black Canary just pushes through on perhaps level 3 out of 4, and then you have buffer up or whatever the case may be, right? It is a really good combo. But I forgot about that because I don't look at cards that aren't golden. And that card is from, I think, XFC?
Yep. And it's a rare.
Which is the set that I really enjoyed, X-Men First Class. So we heard about this combo from Jackalope Spam, who sent me a DM on Discord. We also heard about it from our good friend of the podcast, Andy May, aka Andy America, who sent us an email to tripledpodcast@dm-north.com. So both of them said the same thing. Basically, you get your stuff in the field, then wait to attack until Danger Room rolls. Every character is now a villain, and the opponent can't block any of them. Andy said Alex ran this at Nats once with a handful of cheap characters with decent attack stats, Alex being his daughter, right? So
yeah. You just need a bunch of characters that would make you 20 in one shot.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then you just have to keep them active.
In the field. Yeah.
Yep. Because it's not just Black Canary that can't be blocked. It's as long as Black Canary is attacking.
Yeah.
And everything's a villain, they can't block. So that's all there is. So so similar feedback from Jackalope Spam on that combo with Black Canary, and also the art on the Black Canary card. Super cool. I really like that art. So always good to talk about art on a podcast.
Yep.
So that was kind of the feedback we got about Black Canary. And while we're on the Black Canary conversation, the Birds of Prey conversation, should we skip over the rest of the dice bag until later and jump into our homework, Kim?
Yes. And what was our homework?
Well, first off, I want to just say we both completed our homework on time.
Yes.
That doesn't always happen on this podcast. Quite often, teacher Jocelyn will assign Kim homework and she doesn't finish it on time.
Not really.
And it's not very often I get assigned homework. I think that's because I do more of the talking sometimes. So anyway, so what was our homework? We had to watch Birds of Prey.
Yep.
The And the Emancipation of one fantabulous Harley Quinn.
Yep. One Harley Quinn.
I had all the words. They were in the wrong order. First off, fantabulous. Super good word. Still using that since last episode in regular conversation. I actually put it in a work email the other day. So really? I'm just gonna, absolutely. So I'm just gonna keep at it.
You say and fantabulous emancipation of one Jocelyn?
No, I am not emancipated from my work. I still have to go there. No, I just said something was fantabulous.
Oh, okay.
And I don't even remember what it was, so it couldn't have been that fantabulous. But in the moment, it felt like a word I wanted to use. So I'm still using it. So anyway, we had to watch the Harley Quinn movie. So we decided to talk about it because it was Birds of Prey. And we talked about how neither you had seen it, but you didn't remember it.
No. And I honestly really did not remember it. Yeah. So.
And I had never seen it because I don't know, I see some of the DC Comics movies, but not many of them. I just feel like, for the most part, Marvel movies are better. I'm sorry, Kim, I know you're a DC fan.
Yeah, well, DC's cleaning house now, so we'll see if their movies get better.
Now, apparently, and again, because I don't watch a ton of stuff, but the DC television shows are apparently better than some of the Marvel shows.
But they're all kind of like done now, except Doom Patrol is still around.
Yeah.
I don't watch all of them, but
Yeah.
pretty sure Doom
So,
Patrol is the only one I know.
and I'm just repeating what I read on the internet here. This is not an informed opinion. This is simply I read this on the internet, so the internet must be true, which is Marvel movies are better than DC movies. That one has some basis in my own personal fact because I've watched movies from both. And then that Marvel television is not as good as DC television. And I've seen Marvel television, but I haven't really seen DC television. So I can't really say, but that's kind of the rumor that I've heard. And I am babbling. So we watched Birds of Prey. So tell me, Kim, first impressions. What did you think?
It was all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it
On
was okay.
on a scale of 1 bird of prey to 5 birds of prey, where would you rate the movie?
I gave it probably a 3 Birds of Prey.
3 birds of prey. Okay.
Yeah. You?
Okay. I would say that I want to give it like a 4, but I don't feel like it quite got there, so I'm gonna go with like 3.5.
Okay.
3.5 birds of prey.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't really feel true. Like, I guess us knowing a little bit of background on doing Dice Masters and doing it, it didn't, or knowing some of the ladies' backgrounds, I don't think it really went too much on their backgrounds. You know what I mean? So if we go with character-wise, let's start character-wise. So you have Huntress, which
Yes.
they kind of did an okay, actually a good version of her background. The only thing was, I thought she was with her uncle and became an assassin.
I mean,
But
I
in
guess
the
it just
movie,
depends
it was
on.
a dude, some dude, some random guy that didn't that rescued her. Then she became an assassin. So
I
that
mean,
was different.
artistic license for the movie,
Maybe.
or maybe there's like, because when we do these female character and Dice Masters series, we don't go over every possible variation of the history of the character, because we do know that crazy in comic books they change the origin story sometimes.
Yeah.
So it could be an origin story that we just didn't cover when we did our research.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, with that said, I mean, then of course you've got Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and she's an established, Harley Quinn actress. She's been acting as Harley Quinn for a while, right? She's been in a few episodes, in a few movies.
Yep.
Yes.
AKA Barbie.
I still haven't seen Barbie.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
There's no Barbie Dice Masters for us to go do homework on Barbie, but
I need Barbie Dice Masters, just putting that out there. However, with that said, like Margot Robbie has played Harley Quinn in several DC movies that I have seen. And
but
she just
only
does a
really
fantastic job.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
2, Suicide Squad. She was in both versions.
Wasn't she in
of
something else?
Joke.
As
Did
Harley
she show
Quinn?
up in Joker? The
I
Joker
don't
movie?
remember.
Let's see.
Kim will look it up. Either way, I think she does a really good job portraying Harley Quinn as a character in the movies. She looks the part. She acts the part. She's unhinged. You definitely get. I liked what they did in the movie where, she was kind of crazy and unhinged and doing her own thing. And also they would like intersperse little points where she was using her knowledge as a psychologist, right?
Yeah.
And she would sort of come to like this realization, and she said something, to a character like in her psychologist voice, like before she went crazy and fell in love with the Joker. And it just sort of showed sort of she's very intelligent.
She's pretty. She says she has a PhD.
Yeah, she's very intelligent. Yeah, but she's very intelligent, and she's just kind of gone down an odd path, something different than the average person, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize that she can actually kick butt. Well, she was pretty acrobatic in kicking butt in the movie.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was actually Margot Robbie or if they had a stunt actress.
Maybe, but as a character,
yeah, for sure.
The other movie you might be thinking of, which I don't know if actually has been released or happening, is Gotham City Sirens.
No, I haven't seen that. If that's come out, I haven't seen it. So maybe it's just the 2. But and now the 3. But she was just so good in all of them that it stood out in my mind.
Yeah, she plays it. She plays it well.
Yeah, she plays
Harley
it well.
Quinn. Yep.
So you got Huntress, you got Harley Quinn, you've got Black Canary. I think the actress of Black Canary was well done as well. And then they had a different character, the police detective.
Oh, right.
Renee, I think her name was.
Renee
Montoya.
Yeah.
Like and she was sort of the connection to Black Canary's mother. So Black Canary is Dinah Laurel Lance, as we learned last episode. And I guess Black Canary's mother was a Dinah Drake, and she had a connection to this Renee Montoya. But I couldn't find, I did some research, and by research I mean I Googled for about 10 minutes, this Renee Montoya character, and I can't find anything from her comics basis. It looks like she was created for the film.
Yeah.
And then she becomes part of the Birds of Prey in the movie, at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. Sorry if you haven't seen it.
Yes, we may be spoiling.
This movie that came out 3 years ago, 2020, spring 2020.
Yeah.
Winter 2020. So she, I mean, I think all the characters were well done. The acting was good. The cinematography was great. The filming was really good. Like, they did some really good camera shots and camera work, and the action shots were really, really well done. And I like seeing films where women kick butt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought there was a very interesting part. I don't know what your take on this was, Kim, but sort of the climax-ish of the movie, they're in the fun house.
Oh yeah,
They're fighting all of these men thugs that are there to take them down. And there's Harley Quinn, Renee Montoya, Black Canary, Huntress, and then what was her name? Something Kane, the little girl.
Oh,
that they were protecting.
Cassandra, which I don't know if she's part of also a character in the DC.
So there is a Cassandra Cain in the DC comics.
Okay.
That's listed as part of Birds of Prey, but I didn't read the whole thing on that. Anyway, so she was like the plot device. She had the thing that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Right? So she had
Well, we're already spoiling, so spoiler alert, we'll tell you what.
Okay. So tell them what.
The diamond.
Right.
Which she swallowed.
Yeah, which she swallowed, and it had like the special bank account numbers somehow embedded in it to get to the family fortune that was Huntress's family fortune.
Yep.
So she had that. She was like a younger actress. She was basically like a kid, right? Like a teenager. And the other 4, right, were protecting her. And those 4 women, like, were super badass. Like, they kicked all of these, like dozens and dozens of men, like, destroyed them. And I mean, you've got Black Canary, who has a sonic scream.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like, Huntress is just a person.
Yeah.
She's just trained.
Harley
Quinn is just a person.
Yep.
Right? She's crazy, but she's just a person. She doesn't have any superpowers. And then the Renee Montoya was also, she's just a person. She's just a police detective. So obviously she's trained, and she's can do whatever. She can fight and knows how to use weapons and things like that. But it's very sort of street level, let's call it. Street level heroes or anti-heroes.
Supposedly Renee Montoya does show up in the DC world.
In the comics?
They have her down as the Question, as her main alias, but something to look into.
Yeah.
Her and she kind of partners up with Harvey Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she's
that's
she's
Two-Face,
not in Dice
right?
Masters. No.
Isn't Harvey Bullock Two-Face?
Was it him? No, Harvey is one of the gangster. It wasn't he? Oh, no, not a gangster. What am I talking about? He was just a cop in
Okay.
Gotham City. The guy you're talking about is I don't remember his real name. I can only think of Two-Face.
That's
I'll
okay.
find it.
That's fine. I'm sure that this is a pop culture train wreck at this point anyway. But that's our trademark. So I liked how it was filmed, and I liked how and I've seen this in a couple of movies recently where they have either very subtly made fun of the costumes that female superheroes or female supervillains wear in the film. So I've seen it in previous ones, but in this one, for example, Renee Montoya was looking at the costumes or the props available to them as they were getting ready to go into the battle, and she wanted to wear, I think, Harley's shirt, like maybe it's her little
Yep.
monster shirt
Yeah.
or something, and Harley pulled it away and said, "Don't wear this," and then hands her the Harlequin like corset, and she's just like looking at it like, I'm not wearing that into battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because obviously a corset is generally, it's a how do I describe a corset? A corset is
A very,
um,
very tight.
I'm looking for a specific word and I can't find
It's
it in
not
this moment.
lingerie. You want to say lingerie?
No, lingerie is not where I'm going because that's not really what it is. It's
Yeah.
it's it is an undergarment, right? It's
Yeah.
generally worn underneath your clothes, and it provides women a shape. It gives them a
Yeah.
smaller waist and sort of wider hips and a bigger bust line. And it was sort of designed for that. So it was kind of, I guess it was kind of like a predecessor to a bra, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
how women were dressing.
Back then.
And then it's become sexualized since then. And of course, Harley Quinn has one of those in her costume repertoire. And
Yeah.
then later in the battle, you find that Renee has been shot, and it turns out that she was wearing the corset. She had put it on underneath her t-shirt or
Her
her
funny T-shirt.
blouse, and Harley said, "Aren't you glad you put that on? Because not only do you look great, it's also bulletproof." So it was a bulletproof vest, essentially. So the corset was designed to be a bulletproof vest. So I liked that they sort of did a play on that. Like, yes, this is supposed to be a sexualized garment because that's kind of what we as a society have created it to be. But it was actually armor, essentially.
My favorite line was in that movie was when they were fighting in that same
Hmm.
whatever thing, and Harley comes out with her bat and she's on rollerblades,
Hmm.
and then Black Canary like looks over and she's like, "When did she have time to put that on?"
Yeah, when
Time
did
to
she have
like
time
change.
for a costume change or a
Yeah,
shoe change or something?
yeah, and then it's like, does she know what's going on here? So it's kind of funny.
The I thought you were going somewhere different with that because the other one I took note of. So Black Canary as an actress, has very long hair,
Hmm.
and Harley came up behind her while she was fighting and offered her a hair tie.
I don't remember that one part.
Yeah, so she's like, hair tie, and she's like, oh yeah, thanks, and she's like kicking these two guys' butts at the same time, and she's also pulling her hair back, which is something that I can totally see, maybe not actually happening, like kicking butt and pulling back your
Right.
hair, but it seems
Yeah.
it's a very down to earth logical thing. If
Yeah.
you're like, if you have long hair and you're exercising, no matter what type of exercise that is, if you're kicking some guy's butt or you're going to a yoga class or you're in a kickbox class or whatever, if you have long hair, you're going to pull your hair back when you're doing that class. Otherwise, it's going to be in your face. You're not going to be able to see
Yeah.
anything. It's going to be horrible. But when you look at like art, especially art that is generally drawn by men, or people who don't have long hair, who don't think about that type of thing, they wouldn't consider that. And you would see like, art of people with long hair and their hair's flying around them and it looks like super cool. But like you and I both know, Kim, that would just be like, we would be wrecked. We couldn't see anything. It would be in our face. We'd be eating
Oh
our
yeah.
hair. Like you've got to like pull it
Ugh.
back, right?
Hmm.
So I liked how they kind of made that down to earth and brought it to something that's a little bit more realistic, because women can kick butt if they want to, if they're trained to. absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really well done. And I liked how they sort of did that. They brought sort of the comic into the mainstream and to the real, a little bit to the realism side of what might actually happen if this was real. You know, hair elastics and corsets as armor and things like that.
Costume changes.
So yeah, like it just, you know, it was sort of thematic, and you get the whole, I'm gonna call it a trope of like Harley Quinn is moping around and going out and partying too much after she breaks up with, as she calls him in the movie, Mr. J, the Joker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's a thing that happens, right? You know, woman, men, whatever, heartbreak. You go out, you know, you do things that you wouldn't normally do, or what have you. But that's also when she realizes that she had protection because of him, so she could do whatever she wanted because, you know, the Joker was protecting her. And once she didn't have the Joker's protection, she had to protect herself
because everybody's after her.
and she was fully capable of doing that.
Yep.
She just didn't realize it. So I thought that that was a good storyline to take away. And, you know, I mean, it is an R-rated movie, so, you know, not too many young children are watching it. But I also think
it had some swearing and stuff in it, and
yeah, I think the message is there that, you know, you can hold yourself up and you can protect yourself, and you don't necessarily need anyone else's protection, whether that's a man's or a partner's or whatever. You are strong and you can take care of yourself. Not to say that it's bad to have someone who wants to take care of you and look after you. It's not. But I think knowing that you can do it yourself is also empowering. And I think that's where the conversation around the title comes, is the emancipation of one Harley Quinn. She's emancipated herself from her relationship. She has brought herself into her own.
Yeah. And then she leaves them. She's done her job.
Yeah. So I liked it. It was written by, directed by, and one of the main producers were all women. So Margot Robbie was the producer. She was the main producer. She was the one that brought the concept to DC and suggested they start working on it. Then they hired a female writer and a female director. And I think that's where you get some of that realism from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She I would say she plays a very good Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I like the movie when she found her bat.
Yeah.
The bat. The staple bat.
The movie was visually stunning.
Mm-hmm.
The costumes were good. The colors were good. It was very almost garish, as DC sometimes is. When you look at Gotham City, it's like bright
dark.
And neon and dark and neon and crazy and what have you. It's a little bit darker than maybe some of the Marvel comic stuff. Not all of it, obviously, but some of it. But I thought that it looked really good, and I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, it was good. I liked how they told the story, not necessarily out of order, but you got the concept of it was being told by Harley Quinn, who is maybe not the most reliable narrator.
Oh, wait, let me tell you. Let's go back a day.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Oh, I forgot to tell you this thing. Let me
and then you
caught
just
up.
And,
I don't remember what happened because I was like super, super drunk, and now I'm sort of putting it together, what have you. So you get that message that she was not the most reliable narrator, and she's telling it from her own perspective, which is human and not perfect and flawed, and that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So that's me. Anything you want to add there, Kim?
No. I just found it was an enjoyable movie.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a little long.
What was it, like 2 hours and a bit?
Yeah, it was about 2 hours, and I watched it in 2 sittings. I watched about a little over half of it, and then I went to bed and then came back to it a couple of nights later to finish it off, in preparation for recording this episode, to make sure I had my homework done on time.
You had a week. No.
And obviously we did not have a watch party.
No, we did
We
not have
couldn't
a
find
watch
it
party.
available on a streaming service that provided that for no charge. So we just watched it. So introduction of some characters, some really good acting, good sets, good costumes, some, down to earth realism of female characters in this type of situation. I thought overall pretty good. Like I said, 3.5 birds of prey out of 5.
Yeah. It's not deep, but it's good action fun.
Yeah, it's not deep, but it's good action fun. I think that's a good way to describe it. There is a hint of underlying context and, highlighting women and women can do anything a man can do or better. But it's not like in your face and it's not obnoxious. I think it was really tastefully done.
What was the name that they were calling Huntress? I forget.
The crossbow killer.
Oh, right. Yep. Okay. Yeah. They kept making fun of that with their crossbow.
Yeah, there was a bunch of weird different titles that she had because she was kind of like working in the dark without anybody's support and no one really knew what she was called. So, yeah, it was interesting. But it was good. I liked it. I liked seeing sort of Harley Quinn come into her own. Like I said, she's very intelligent. She's just kind of unhinged because of everything that's happened to her. And, she's realized that she can still do stuff even though she's kind of crazy. So,
The crazy makes
overall,
her good.
I'd recommend it if you like comic book action movies.
You like Harley Quinn, you like DC, or, just give it a shot.
Yeah, just give it a shot. And if you've watched it, having gone through our Birds of Prey episode and our film review, which is now the thing that we do apparently, instead of talking about Dice Masters.
We'll have to do a Harley Quinn episode one day.
We didn't do one?
Did we do one? I feel like it's a lot to do, but I can't remember if we actually. Okay, I'm gonna go looking now.
Maybe that's it. Because why didn't we talk about Harley Quinn as part of the Birds of Prey in the first place? Last episode.
Well, in our research, they didn't really talk about her as a main.
Oh, right.
Person that brought this all, right? So,
but she was in this particular film, sort of.
She kind of more led the film. Actually, no, we've never talked about Harley Quinn.
Well, then we'll have to do a Harley Quinn episode because she's a very interesting and complex character.
Yeah, she's very cool.
Yeah. So that is the Birds of Prey movie, and let us know what you thought. If you've watched it, have you given it a try? How many Birds of Prey would you rate it out of 5? Are you 3 like Kim? Are you 3.5 like me? Do you give it a lower rating, a higher rating, and why? We'd love to hear all of those things, and your thoughts on Black Canary and Huntress as characters, in addition to their Dice Masters character cards, right?
Cool. And the other Harvey you're thinking about that's Two-Face is Harvey Dent.
Oh, see, I had the Harvey right. So I wasn't like, it's not an entire train wreck. You can see where I was going with that.
It's still Harley. Yeah, I mean, it was still
Harvey.
Yeah. Harvey.
Yeah. So, where should we go from here, Kim? Should we finish with the feedback from last episode with the other comment that we had?
Yep. There's one more, right?
Yeah. So there was one more comment. It was on the YouTube. Came from our newer listener, Darren. And Darren had said, another great show. Totally agree with your point about WizKids at the Memphis Cup. Hopefully the new guy in charge at WizKids for Dice Masters is listening. So that was in context of our conversation of how the Guerrilla Dice Masters draft event went at Dice Masters Worlds. And I really hope that they include us next year. Hopefully there will be product for us to talk about, and there will be events being held at Memphis, because it is a really good time and super, super fun to be down there playing Dice Masters and HeroClix and Onslaught, I guess, if you like that sort of thing. But yeah, hopefully they will bring Dice Masters back. You know, I'm looking at the calendar. I'm looking at next year. 2024 is officially 10 years of Dice Masters.
Oh,
So they've
really?
just, yeah, it came out in 2014, right?
So we'll see if they do anything kind of anniversary-ish wise.
You know, they've just redesigned the cards. It seems to me like you've got a card redesign and a 10-year anniversary seems like a perfect time to relaunch the game.
Yeah.
But I don't work at WizKids, so it's not up to me. So, um, so thanks to all of you who continue to listen to us babble about Dice Masters every couple of weeks, which we're going to keep doing. But we would also like to hear from you about what sort of things you would like to hear from us. Obviously, we do these female characters in Dice Masters series. We talk about cards and sets when they come out, and try and come up with combos and ideas and conversation to create conversation around the set. We talk about what tournaments are happening online and in person and all of those sorts of things. But if there's something else you'd like to hear from us, you know, we're open to suggestions because we want to keep this game that we love exciting and part of the conversation, even if we don't have any news on new sets. Right, Kim?
That is right. And our big episode is coming up soon.
Well, this is our big episode, Kim. It's your birthday.
It's one of the big episodes.
Oh, you mean episode number 100?
Episode number 100.
I can't believe we've been talking about Dice Masters for that many episodes.
Right? So wait, hit 100. We've been on for how many years? This is our third. We're in our fourth year. This is our fourth year that we're in right now.
Well, I mean, 26 episodes a year, right? Every second week.
Yeah. So
we haven't missed one.
Nope.
So 26, 52, whatever number comes after that, and then 104 will be 4 years.
We're into. I like to call them seasons. She doesn't like to call them seasons, but we're into season 4.
Nothing changed between the seasons, Kim. We're still talking about Dice Masters.
Hey, our podcast service we use says seasons.
That is not my fault.
But yes, so we're 3 episodes away from our 100th episode.
Yeah. And so if you have ideas about what you'd like to see in our 100th episode, please let us know.
Yeah. Do you want to see our faces? Do you want to see us talk? Do you want to see us sing? No.
They don't have to see us sing. We sing all the time, Kim. I sang at the beginning of this episode.
Yes, you did. Yeah. So whatever you want, you know, let us know. Let us know if you have any big ideas or any ideas, and yeah.
Ideas big or small.
Yep.
Right? Even just a kernel of an idea about what you'd like to hear us talk about either in our 100th episode or as we continue to move forward. We're going to continue to do that. Like we said, we might start pulling out some golden cards. My God, I can barely even say it. And try and come up with some combos. I think it's also hard because I haven't had a ton of time to play the game lately. So Kim, at least, is still running Weekly Dice Arena every Tuesday night, as long as we get 4 people, and is participating in the 2-team takedown. So how is that going, Kim?
I just finished round 2. And round 1 went very good. Like, it was close. It was very close in life. I missed 2 rolls to win.
Oh yeah.
So on my turn, I missed a roll. Next turn, he won. I switched my teams. Pretty much again, missed my roll to win, and he won next round. So,
well, that happens sometimes.
Yep, you miss your dice rolls, and you can't recuperate after. You're in trouble. And then in my second game went really well as it was supposed to, and won both with my teams.
Nice.
So, yeah, playing a lot of old school cards. So
I was just gonna say, tell us about your teams, Kim.
My first team is one of my favorite cards.
Team Up.
No, it's not Orbital Strike. Yes, I'm playing a Team Up team.
Nice.
Which is my DC version team. So I use Black Adam because he has 3 affiliations on him. So one of my sides is Mystics, but he has 2 other affiliations. Zatan is a Mystic as well, which I use. She also has Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side is one of the War of Light ones, the Yellow Lanterns.
Okay.
Which has the Batman on there that is unblockable when you use a basic action die.
Nice.
So I just got to get those 3 and a bunch of sidekicks in the field and pretty much roll team up, and hopefully it does it in one shot. So that's, I mean, it's a little bit slower, but because I don't really have much discount, so getting to 4 costs, it seems so like a stretch. I don't know. It seems so like, oh my gosh, I just spent 4 on a die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess if you need multiple 4-cost dice and you don't have a lot of ramp and churn,
right. Yeah, so I
then
mean, I
it could
have like
feel...
Counter-Strike on there, and to be honest with you, Counter-Strike only probably ever works once.
Yeah.
So
Once per game.
right. So you hope that maybe your opponent has something to help you.
Right.
And then my Marvel team is, I kind of went a little bit. I was on the fence about going a little mean, so I decided to go a little mean. I call it mean because I don't play these kinds of things. Is villains.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, what's the other affiliation? Oh my gosh, has Black Bolt affiliation. What are they again?
Black Bolt affiliation? Inhumans?
Yes, Inhumans. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Is Inhumans. But I'm primarily playing the villain side because it has Don't Call Me Gobby and Green Goblin on it.
Nice.
So, and also has Absorbing Man and Malekith. So what it is I definitely need Absorbing Man. So Absorbing Man is the one that when fielded, you pretty much copy a when fielded ability.
Right.
And then Malekith, it gives all your psychics +1A, +1D, and also gives them the villain affiliation.
Yeah.
Okay. So definitely those 2 are a buy. Now you also want to fill your field with sidekicks.
Sidekicks.
Which I have instant war to do that, or obviously if I roll it.
Those tiny little sidekicks. How do you have instant war?
What do you mean? There's an
What's that?
instant war in the Marvel set.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So and then once that's set up, you either buy Goblin or you buy Don't Call Me Goblin. So Don't Call Me Gobby. So
Norman
Goblin,
Osborn.
yes, does 1 damage for every psychic in your field zone.
Right.
Okay. And then double that with Absorbing Man. Gobby, Don't Call Me Gobby, when it's fielded, does a damage for each villain on both sides.
Yes.
So that will also count my psychics because Malekith gives them the villain affiliation.
Right.
So depending how it's going, and they're both 3 cost, and how my field is looking at that side, it determines whom I'm buying first.
Right. Makes sense.
Right. So, I mean, if I'm playing a villains team and I see they have villains, I'm going to go for Don't Call Me Gobby. And then you're pretty much killing in that 1 turn. You get 10, double it, you're 20, your game's done. So, I think I did a 30-something damage in 1 turn.
That's amazing. Congratulations, Kim.
So, I was debating playing that one, but I have never really played it. So, I was like, oh, yeah, do it. Matt's like, do it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, absolutely do it. Right? That's the purpose of the team.
So I think I would have won the first game, but I missed a roll. I think I missed one of the gobbies. I think I missed Malekith the win. Something like that, right? Something like that. And then, it was just a miss roll, or else I would have had that too. But so far, so good. Brought out a lot of golden cards and no modern on my team, I don't think.
Wow. And how many people are participating in this tournament, Kim?
16.
Nice.
And I think we have a range of different combos.
That's good.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think much people really have the same.
Well, it's good when we get lots of participation for these online events and when everybody's not playing the same card. Master Ball. Excuse me. Got a little Master Ball there.
I think we banned cards that were on the list.
The
Can't
global
remember.
escalation list?
Maybe?
Yeah. Either way, it's all good. Yeah, so it sounds like a fun tournament. I'm glad that it's going well, and I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself, Kim. It's Two Team Takedown, if you're not familiar, is a tournament that dm-north.com runs a few times a year, and it is held completely online, and you play a round a week. You build a time with your opponent for the week to play at your leisure, and then you report your score, and then the next week you get another round. And I think you typically do 4 rounds, right, Kim?
Yeah, we do 4 rounds, so over a month.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great way to play if you can just commit a couple of hours a week to playing and working it out with your opponent on when best to play that game, and you have the whole week to do it. So it works out pretty well, and encourage folks that are able to play online to participate in that.
Yeah, fun times.
For anyone who happens to be in the Mississauga area, the week after this podcast comes out, on October 22nd, we will be holding a charity Dice Masters draft at Game Time Collectibles in Mississauga. Game Time is our local store, and in October every year, the owner runs a food bank drive. So he holds events, and the proceeds of those events are donated to the food bank. So he'll be donating some product for us to draft. We'll be either drafting Marvel's Secret Wars or Marvel's Dark Phoenix Saga, and we will be drafting. So the buy-in for your event is a donation to the food bank. You can donate like a whole bunch of food, like non-perishable food items, or you can donate money, and the money will get donated in whole to the food bank. I think it's a really great thing that Will does every year to support his community, and we're looking forward to holding that event. So looking forward to seeing anyone who's available to be out. I think right now we've got 4 people confirmed already, and right now we've got the event capped at 8 for space, but if we get more people that are interested, I'm sure that we can squeeze more people in. So just reach out to us. You can reach out to me directly or to Kim, and we can coordinate that. And the event is listed in the Win. So you can go onto the Win. Crazy, right? You can go onto the Win and sign up for a Dice Masters event. You totally can. It is there. I have placed it there.
It still exists.
We are hoping to get a good turnout for that event to support the food bank.
Cool.
And if you want to run some kind of charity event in your area to support your local food bank or another local charity that makes sense in your area, go ahead and do that. And you can reach out to us, and we would be happy to share that on the podcast for the people that listen, to share that information. I think that's all we have, Kim.
Yeah. Yeah.
We covered events.
Covered events.
We did our movie review.
We did a movie review.
We talked about 2 team takedowns, and technically we talked about Dice Masters. We talked about card combos that we forgot about, and we're looking for suggestions on what to do next. So reach out to us, let us know. You can find us in all of the usual places. You can find us on Discord, on dmNorthTV. We have a Double and Dice podcast channel there. You can also at Kim at SuperK and at me at JoceStitch, J-O-C-E Stitch. You can send us an email like Andy May did at triple D podcast at dm-north.com.
Did you forget?
I got somewhere in the middle of my brain. It's not working tonight. So triple D podcast at dm-north.com. You can reach out to us on our YouTube. We always post the episodes on YouTube as well at youtube.com/dmNorthTV. You can join us for live games on Twitch. You'll find Kim sometimes playing her 2 team takedowns on Twitch. And or recording them to put them on YouTube, but you can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/dmNorthTV. And we're on all the socials. I don't know how much Twitter/X we're doing these days, but we are on Facebook, Instagram. I think we're on Threads and TikTok. And
I don't know about TikTok.
We are on TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah, we are on
anything
TikTok.
on TikTok.
I'm not sure how much TikToking we're doing, but
it does exist. You can follow us on TikTok. I can't guarantee there's any content for you to watch, but we're there. So those are all the places that you can find us. And please join me in wishing Kim a very happy birthday. And until next time, on a double and dice.